Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The phone slipped from my hand, landing face down on the hardwood floor. My chest tightened as if someone had reached inside and twisted my heart. The image burned behind my eyelids, Lisa, laughing, her fingers brushing through another man's hair as the ocean glowed gold behind them. It wasn't a business trip. It wasn't an extension. It was a lie. I sank onto the edge of the bed, my pulse roaring in my ears. For 3 weeks, she'd told me stories of overbooked flights and urgent meetings. I believed her because that's what love does. It builds trust even when evidence screams against it. But now, all I could see was the truth shining through that photo like sunlight cutting through smoke. I dialed her number. My fingers trembled. She answered cheerfully. "Hey, baby. Can you believe it? The flight's delayed again." I swallowed hard, my voice low and steady. "That's strange. I just saw you tagged in a picture in Bali. You looked happy." The pause on the other end stretched long enough to expose the truth. "Nathan," she started, her tone faltering, "it's not what you think." But it was. It was exactly what I thought. "I'll see you when you're home," I said, hanging up before her excuses could poison the air any further. That night, sleep never came. The house felt too quiet, too aware of my breathing. Every photo on the wall, the hiking trips, the anniversaries, the forced smiles, mocked me. Each frame told the story of a man who loved blindly. When she finally walked through the door 2 days later, suitcase trailing behind her, she greeted me like nothing had happened. "Hey," she said, smiling faintly. "I missed you." I stared at her for a long moment. She looked radiant, sun-kissed skin, ocean in her hair, vacation in her scent. I hated that I still found her beautiful. "How was the trip?" I asked. She hesitated. "Busy. Long. I'm glad it's over." "Busy," I echoed. "You sure about that?" Her smile faltered. "Nathan, what are you saying?" I turned my phone toward her, showing her the photo. The blood drained from her face instantly. She sat down, her hands trembling. "It's not what it looks like." "You've said that before," I murmured. Tears welled up, but her eyes still searched for control. "Please, it was a mistake. I was lonely. You've been so distant lately." I laughed softly, the sound bitter and hollow. "Don't you dare make this about me." "I'm not," she said quickly. I already called my lawyer," I said, cutting her off. That was the moment everything inside her shattered. The calm mask cracked into panic. "No, Nathan. Please. Don't do this. We can fix it." "Fix what? You flew halfway across the world to lie to me. That's not a mistake, Lisa. That's a choice." The days after she left were both unbearable and strangely peaceful. The silence was heavy, but honest. I'd rather live in quiet truth than noisy deceit. Still, the loneliness hit hard. Every corner of the house whispered her name. Her perfume lingered in the hallway, her favorite mug sat by the sink, her laughter echoed faintly in my head. She texted constantly, paragraphs of apologies, promises, pleas. I read every one, but never replied. Each word felt like someone reopening the same wound. 5 days later, she showed up uninvited. "I can't lose you," she said, her voice raw. "I made one mistake. We can come back from this." I looked at her. The woman standing in front of me wasn't the one I'd married. She was someone who could look me in the eyes and lie without flinching. "I used to believe we could survive anything," I said quietly. "But this killed something in me." Her tears came harder. "Please, Nathan. I still love you." "Maybe you do," I said. "But love isn't enough when it's built on lies." I stepped back, closing the door before she could say another word. Weeks passed. The divorce papers were filed, the signatures drying like the final nail in the coffin of our story. I thought I'd feel relief, but what I felt was emptiness, like walking out of a burning house and realizing everything you loved was still inside. I started running again, cooking for one, rediscovering silence. Healing wasn't loud. It was quiet, slow, and full of small victories, Like waking up one morning and realizing I hadn't thought about her in hours. Sometimes, I still think of that photo. How happy she looked. How carefree. How complete. And I realize it wasn't her betrayal that broke me most. It was how easy it seemed for her to live in that lie, smiling in the sunlight while my world dimmed in the shadows. I learned that love without honesty is just illusion. And once illusion shatters, all that's left is clarity. Cold, brutal, but freeing. And in that clarity, I finally found myself again.